Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Miitopia. That's right, everybody. I'm doing a Miitopia run, and I've been spurred on by Alpharad and his streaming of his Miitopia series. So I figured it'd be a fun time. And considering I have literally nothing else to do right now, I figured I'd do this. So, I'm also using Alpharad's link, so, this is going to be fun. This is the world of Miitopia. It is a world where every me can live in peace and harmony. Or at least it was. And then one day, the Fire Nation attacked. My bad. The darkness came without warning. And a great and terrible shadow threatened all of Miitopia. An unspeakably evil fiend started stealing everyone's faces, and then to add insult to injury, put them on thousands of Redditors. Wait, did I... and the fiend gave the faces to monsters. Behold, a simple traveler. Okay, two things I want to clear up before I get fully into this. One, I'm going to narrate this kind of like... I'm going to narrate this. This is kind of like I'm following a story, not like I'm controlling anything. And two, I made this me like years ago. Shut up. Yawn. Another peaceful day. Principal is wandering alone wherever the path takes him. Oh! Ah! Wah! Puff, puff. Where am I? Ah! Principal spawns a nearby town. Cast.
I thought we were gonna get the spring ride. Oh my god. If we got that spring ride, that would have been absolutely...
Principal walks around the town. He first stops at the carefree guy Thanos, who has these words to say to him. Bit bored today, huh? What's up with you? Monsters with people's faces? You gotta be kidding me. Greenhorn's a peaceful place. A place to leave all your woes behind. Next, our adventurous principal stops at Mona Lisa, where she has this to say. Oh, joyous day. Isn't the weather just beautiful? Oh, an adventurer. Why the long face? You can't go around looking like that. Come on, give us a smile. You know you want to. A smile brings happiness. Next, the principal stops at the sassy child known as Will Smith, because our god plays favorites. Wee! Woohoo! I'm a dragon! Next, Principal stops at the Granny, Muriel,
Whoops, word mother.
Stop it, Will Smith. Calm down or you'll hurt yourself. This child has me at my wits' ends. Oh, adventurer, please excuse me. My child has so much energy. It's hard for me to keep up.
Next, our adventurer stops at the lovey-dovey couple, Waluigi and Death.
Oh, you're so cute, Deb. No, you're cute, Waluigi. I feel like I'm dreaming. Should I pinch you?
Principal has had enough of their bullshit and moves along to Danny DeVito.
What? We don't see your type often. You're here visiting or something? Huh, some kind of relaxing vacation, is it? Must be so nice for you. I'm so jealous.
Principal keeps down the urge to smack Danny DeVito in the face and goes talk to the mayor, Dudley.
Welcome, adventurer. I'm the mayor of this town. I take it you've spoken to all of our townsfolk.
Principal agrees.
Greenhorn's a nice town, but I'm the mayor, so I kind of have to say that. Huh?
Then, from the clouds, a mysterious figure appears.
What's that?
Thanos asks.
What? Where? Oh!
Replies Mona Lisa.
What is it, Mommy?
Says Will Smith.
Oh, goodness,
Replies Muriel.
Death?
Says Waluigi.
Waluigi?
Says Death.
This can't be good.
Says Danny DeVito. Principal stares up and wonders what is that mysterious figure. And Dudley says, "Oh no,
It's...
And then All Might descends from the shadows. Wah-ha-ha-ha, he cries out in laughter. I am the Dark Lord, All Might. I've come to wreak havoc and terror on this miserable little world. And I'm starting with you, the people of Greenhorn. Time to taste true fear. Say goodbye to your faces. Then All Might starts stealing the people's faces one by one. He starts with Mona Lisa and Thanos' faces. And then he moves on to Will Smith's face. Then he moves on to Death's face. And then he moves on to Danny DeVito's face. Oh, it's terrible, the mayor cries out. They're faces. Oh, he cries out in laughter. Humph. This will do nicely for now. Listen up, you faceless freaks. Everyone shivers in terror. Get used to a life of wordless terror, because that's what you're stuck with. And those who've been spayed. Take a nice long look at your poor little friends. And despair. So long. Then the Dark Lord All Might flees with the faces he's stolen. Principal walks in dismay, looking at all the people in their stolen faces. Then he spots Muriel trying to get his attention. Will Smith, my poor baby, she cries out.
Don't panic, don't panic. Oh, adventurer, I beg you, please help my Will Smith.
The adventurer agrees, since he has nothing better to do with his time.
Oh, thank you ever so much. I know. Please take this. It's our family good luck charm.
The adventurer is given a take charm by Muriel.
I fear the Dark Lord still lurks nearby. Could you maybe take a look around outside town?
The adventurer accepts the mother's request and runs out of the town, going to search for faces. Principal runs into All Might. All Might cries out, "Is someone trying to be the big hero?" Principal stands heroically, not cowering to All Might and his fear. Give Will Smith's face back, Principal cries out. What, this old thing? Principal nods in agreement. Maybe I will give this one back to you, but you'll have to earn it. How good are you in a fight? Principal cowers in terror. Eep! He cries out as Will Smith's face is injected onto this ugly slime. Be seeing you if you survive, that is. All Might flees the scene, leaving Principal to face the ugly, horrid monster that is Will Smith. Principal cries out. Will Smith lunges at him. Oh no! Principal cries in terror, but then the family heirloom that was given to him by Muriel glows, repelling Will Smith, and a voice comes from it. Oh, Principal! Principal, can you hear me? Principal nods in agreement. Ho, it does seem like you're hearing me. What good fortune is this? Hoya. Now you may not believe this, but I'm kind of a guardian spirit. Hoya. Principal screams out in amazement. What? Yo, please just hear me out. It seems like you're in a bit of trouble, my child. Would you like a little help? Principal, not being a dumbass, agrees to take the god's help. Ho, excellent. Hoya. I bestow upon thee the awesome powers of the guardian. Hoya. Gift of divine power. You learn about jobs. Your job is the key to defeating monsters and paying the rent from your mother's house. What? Now select a job you would like. Principal, even though he requested a different job, is given the job of mage. He takes it as to not upset the guardian known as Goofy and make him come down there and smite him. Would you look at that? Here. This is just what you need to deal with the Dark Lord's fiends. Now fight, oh Principal, make your foes fear you. Principal drops back into battle and faces off against the monstrosity that is Will Smith. Here goes nothing, he cries out before charging against Will Smith. Many Will Smiths slide. Principal surveys his options, and he decides to run at Will Smith and poke him with his stick. He does 2 damage. Then Will Smith returns to favor by smacking him for 2 damage. Principal decides again to run at Will Smith with his stick, and Will Smith decides again to smack him in the face. But he does it twice, for fun. Principal decides that the only thing he can do, once again, is run at Will Smith. So he goes, smacks him with his stick, and makes sure that he finishes him this time. He does some amount of damage, kills Will Smith, and steals his face back. Whee! Will Smith's face cries out before flying into the sun. Principal does a victory dance, and he cries out, "Woof!" as he finishes the battle. He's given 9 XP and a slime jelly. He falls on his back and decides to lay there. Hoya, excellent work, young Principal. Oh, it was nothing, Principal cries out. Hoya, now that child should be safe. Things are looking up. Time to make your way back to the town of Greenhorn. Hoya. Principal runs back to the town of Greenhorn, with Will Smith's face beating him there. Will Smith's face is then returned onto his body. Will Smith cries out, "Oh, that's hot," and says, "Wah, oh, that's hot."
Yippee, I'm back!
Cries Will Smith.
Will Smith,
His mother says, and runs up to him.
are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? I'm fine. Oh, thank the stars. And thank you, kind traveler. I'll be sure to give you a present tonight. Please take this gift as a mother's appreciation.
Muriel hands the adventurer 200 gold. And the adventurer does another little dance, because he figures out he gets paid for saving people. Ho ho, that's just wonderful. Just wonderful. Huyok, huyok. Now then, Principal, my child, I have another task for you. Huyok, huyok. Principal says, you do? Hoping that he can get out of this, because he doesn't want to do it. You have seen the deeds of the Dark Lord Almighty. Huyuk, huyuk. He's made quite the mess, and that's putting it mildly. And so I commission you. Huyuk, huyuk. Principal gulps in fear, as he doesn't want to do anything else today. Defeat the villain, the vile Almighty, and save this world. Huyuk, huyuk. Principal realizes he can say no, but he also realizes that he will probably just be guilted into saying yes or killed for saying no, and going against Goofy's wishes. So, in order to avoid conflict, Principal agrees, out of pure desperation. I'm so very happy to hear that. Your new power should help you contend with All Might. Huyok, huyok. Now, Mage Principal, go forth, defeat the Dark Lord. I expect great things from you. Ho ho, huyok, huyok. And then Goofy's voice fades out into the distance. Principal's left standing in Will Smith's way as he attempts to run around. Principal slowly but surely sulks out of Greenhorn as he realizes he's been forced to save people's faces that he didn't really want to. Principal roams out into the eastern hills, forced to search for more faces. We're off, he says, disappointed, as he walks along. I'm feeling snacky, he says to himself. Then he runs into a monster, probably attacking him because he said, I'm feeling snacky in 2025. Principal surveys his options and realizes all he can do is run up and smack him with his big stick. He does 3 damage. Rockmoth smacks him in the face with its wings. Principal surveys his options and he realizes all he can do is smack him with his big, long, juicy stick. He runs up and finishes that butterfly, making sure it can't smack him with his wings again. Another face rises off into the sunset. Ho ho, hyok, hyok. Those faces just fly right off. Defeating monsters, whoever owns that face has you to thanks for freeing it. Hyok, hyok. Just like with that sassy youngster you helped earlier. I wish I could kill him. Hyok, hyok. Put another way, defeating monsters help people get their faces back. So keep defeating monsters and help as many people as you can. Hyok, hyok. Can you do that for me, Principal? Ho ho! Yuck, yuck. Another face is rescued. Principal does a victory dance, realizing this is what he has to do for every single face he gets. That was tough, he cries to himself, not realizing Goofy has left to the astral plane long ago. He gets 2 XP and levels up. I'm not reading out all of those abilities. I'm a narrator. I'm not a psychopath. Principal learns fire, which, if you don't know what fire is, then you need to go to a therapist. And he finds 5 gold laying on the ground.
More gold to get me out of my college debt.
He tells himself, even though there's nothing that will ever get him close to getting him out of his college debt. What was it I ate yesterday? He thinks to himself, running out of things to occupy his mind. Then he's squished between 2 butterflies, because he can't deal with 2 butterflies, because apparently he's a wimp.
I'm a wimp, I can't deal with 2 butterflies. I can't fight these things.
Goofy realizes that he is a big-ass wimp, and comes down to him.
Ho ho, looks like you're having a tough time there, champ. Yuck, yuck. But don't worry, help is coming. Yuck, yuck. But oh, buddy, yuck, 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 yuck.
The only time I get to use Jesus, shut up. How did I get here? Jesus wonders. Ah! Jesus cries out and realizes that a friend, is stuck from 2 butterflies.
Let me help you,
he says, because he realizes that this kid is a wimp and can't defeat 2 measly little butterflies. Sure, Principal says, realizing he can't defeat 2 butterflies because he is a wimp. Wimp! Jesus runs up and smacks the butterfly with his big, long stick. Principal surveys and thinks on what to do, realizing that his stick is not as long as Jesus's. He decides to blow up Rock Moth A instead. Principal muses that he has fire, screams fire, and destroys a moth. Take that, cries out. Then Rock Moth B smacks Jesus with his wings. Principal, wanting to show off against Jesus Christ, smacks the butterfly with his smaller stick. They both do a victory dance.
nailed it.
He cries out, while Jesus silently amuses that he did more damage to Rock Moth A than Principal did. They pick up 10 gold and butterfly honey.
Phew,
Jesus says. Thanks, Principal says.
so you're off to save the world, huh?
Jesus says.
Can I join you?
Jesus asks. Of course, you would be a dumbass not to take him,
Nice to meet you.
Principal says. They both dance. And Principal has a sudden realization that he got Jesus Christ to join his little adventure.
Ho ho, so you're both still in one piece, eh? Huyok, huyok, huyok. You and Jesus get to know each other as your journey. Huyok, huyok, huyok. The deeper your friendship, the more powerful you will become. Huyok, huyok, huyok. Bon voyage, ho ho, huyok, huyok.
Jesus muses that Goofy sounds like he's choking himself to death, while Principal wonders what Goofy means by friendship runs deeper. Can I take a nap? Principal asks. Come on, Jesus replies. Oh, there's something on the ground, Principal says, and he swipes up an MP banana, even though nobody else could see that.
Woohoo, yeah, I'm on fire.
Principal says. Someone's in a good mood, Jesus replies.
Wait, Jesus.
Principal says. Principal took out an MP banana. What are you doing? You want half? Of course they do. They eat the MP banana together. Yum, Jesus says.
I can't get off the platform. I can't get
Whew,
off the platform.
Principal says.
Oh,
Let's enjoy the little victories, Jesus replies. Then they run into monsters. They run into another butterfly and a goblin who looks very depressed. Principal wonders what to do, thinking whether or not he should explode the goblin for looking at him funny or attack the moth with his stick. He attacks the rock moth with his short stick. Jesus attacks the moth with his bigger stick. The goblin comes up and backhands Jesus Christ. Jesus ain't taking none of that, and he smacked the goblin with his stick. Principal, not wanting Jesus to take the absurdity that is backhanding him, runs up and attacks the goblin with his stick. The goblin backhands Principal, and Principal takes none of that shit, so he blows the goblin up for backhanding him. The goblin is killed, and he rescues 2 more faces. They do a little dance. That was tough, Principal says. They both get 4 HP. They pick up goblin ham, butterfly honey, and 13 gold. Woohoo, yeah, I'm on fire, Jesus says. That's uplifting, Principal replies in his head. Phew, so tired, Principal says. Me too. I'm wondering how long I can last, Jesus replies. Wait, what's that? Principal says. They found an inn. An inn? Come on, let's pop in for some rest. Praise to the deity of well-placed inns. Even though Jesus should know by now, but that's his father. How dumb is he? They both run towards the inn, not wanting to stay outside for a moment longer, because they hate sunlight. They both dance because they're happy to sleep and not be in the sun. Principal and Jesus decide to set camp in the middle room. They gain a little friendship and then go to sleep. Principal and Jesus both want a banana. They both agree to mutually get 2 bananas. Even though they spent all of their gold, they're happy. They both decide that they're hungry, and they decide to eat the things that they found on the ground. Principal decides to eat the slime jelly. He thinks it doesn't taste good. Principal decides to eat the goblin ham. Decides that it's fine. Jesus decides to eat both the butterfly honeys. Jesus thinks it's decently good, and he likes it. And he gets 1 stat to his MP. There is no grub. Everybody is full, and Choctopus, your album would not work, because no grub is an awful name. Jesus and the principal run deeper into the eastern hills, searching for more adventure. We're off, Principal says, dreading the day ahead. Can't wait for some grub, Principal says out loud. I want to put my feet up, Jesus replies. Principal trips like a dumbass. Gah! Ugh. Jesus comes to help him up. Are you okay? Jesus lends a hand. Thanks, man. Principal is grateful to Jesus. They gain a little friendship and move along. Need some kitten cuddles, keep it together. Principal and Jesus run into a butterfly and a goblin that looks ugly as hell. Principal thinks on what to do. He decides, in order to avoid being backhanded by another goblin, he blows it up. The goblin dies. Take that. Jesus comes and smacks the butterfly with a stick, and the butterfly smacks. The butterfly smacks Principal, which enrages Jesus, causing him to smack the butterfly with his big, long, juicy stick, causing the butterfly to die, as he can't handle Jesus' stick. Jesus gains a level. I'm not reading that out. I'm not a psychopath. Wern's Cure, which restores a friend's HP with the power of prayer. Do I have to say any joke? Jesus and Principal find goblin ham, butterfly honey, and 13 gold. I've seen the light, Jesus says. I think so too, Principal replies, not knowing that Jesus has actually seen the light. Is Thanos' face around here somewhere? Principal says out loud, hoping that Thanos' face will come to them. It'd be stuck to a monster, right? Jesus replies. Who knows, Principal wonders, while still looking around for Thanos' faces, hoping that since he said it, it'll magnetize for him. Less talking, more looking, Jesus replies. And he's sad that it didn't work. Slow down, Principal says. Principal and Jesus run into Thanos' face. Huh? What? Thanos says before getting his face stuck on a butterfly. Butterfly Thanos. Jesus smacks Butterfly Thanos with his big stick. Principal thinks that he should just blow it up since it's a crime against humanity. Fire! Gift of fine power, MP sprinkles. Awaken. Sprinkle this mysterious powder to restore MP. Ho ho, you've awakened a new power. Without MP, your skills in magic won't be much use to you. You'll need to watch your MP gauge to win your battles. Make sure to refill using MP sprinkles before you run out. You can use MP sprinkles during any character's turn. But sprinkles don't last forever, you know, so sprinkle wisely. Goofy chuckles at that joke, not realizing that he's set himself up as FBI's most wanted criminal. Ho ho! We are forced to give Principal some sprinkles. Oh god, that was so much to narrate. Oh my god. Okay, shit. Oh. Okay, to recap what happened. Thanos smacks both of the people with his wings, and then Jesus cured Principal from near death. Principal decides that he wants to blow up Thanos for smacking him with his wing. That's 10 damage. Butterfly Thanos smacks Jesus and Principal. Principal decides that to end this, he'll smack him with his stick to not feel left out by Jesus and all of his stick smacking. He runs up, smacks him with his stick, and Thanos dies. Phew! He cries out. Thanos' face says, thanks, before flying off into the sunset. They both do a little dance. Still in one piece, Principal muses, before they each get XP. Now, who the f do I want more XP? The narrator, who is the god of this realm, decides to give the XP to Jesus Christ, as he's just poor. Principal and Jesus find butterfly honey on the ground. Principal is sad that they couldn't find any gold, but decides that there's no use complaining to Jesus about it. And then their day is done. Dear Principal, thanks for the help with Will Smith. Here's a little something to show our gratitude from Muriel. They get one outing ticket, even though they don't know what that is yet. Jesus and Principal gain another level of friendship. Jesus and Principal are deep in conversation. So, the narrator spies on them to see what they're talking about, hoping it's not about anything that'll make the narrator say, this is for adults only. I didn't sleep much last night. Oh no, why not? Turns out you talk in your sleep and you're loud. Oh, sorry about that. You keep saying it's gonna be okay. Oh, that's embarrassing. They do a little dance and getting half a friendship bar, even if the narrator struggles to comprehend what in God's name that conversation was about. Jesus wants to buy new things, but they have no gold. So, instead, Principal decides it's his turn to eat the butterfly honey and chomps down on it. Principal doesn't like it one bit, thinks it's disgusting and Jesus should rot in hell. Jesus decides it's his turn to eat the goblin ham, while the narrator fears for his life that a crevice will open up and swallow him whole. Jesus finds the ham okay. Principal decides that he's going to eat the butterfly honey, and Jesus, being too kind to protest, lets him have it. Principal doesn't like it. Jesus thinks then I should have eaten it. They both muse about spending to buy a new thing, but they realize that they have no gold and they're broke, so they can't afford anything that would be remotely close. They decide to go on an outing together. Let's chill at the cafe. Did you bring any snacks? I'm not so sure about this. Jesus thinks he's right. Deep in conversation, the two are. That was lovely. Shall we call it a night? Oh! We never ordered anything, Jesus muses. The bartender is mad at them, and they're in shock, as they forgot to use their buy one get one free coupon that they got. Why is there a Snurp statue? I'm gonna murder that restaurant. Why is there a Snurp statue? No, don't you! The duo returns home, and they get 2 HP bananas, even though they supposedly said they ordered absolutely nothing. They decide to head out They head out deeper into the eastern hills, and Thanos' face returns to Greenthorn. The duo decide to attempt to hit on the hot Nintendo fan called Miss Frizzle. Hi, I'm Miss Frizzle. Would you say you're a Nintendo fan? Principal says, oh, what now? Huh? What? How can you not know? I'm Nintendo's #1 fan. So, I heard these little figures you can get. They're called amiibos. I was wondering what they look like. If you have one, would you show it to me? Principal realizes that the only way he can talk to this attractive young woman is to get an amiibo, but he doesn't have one yet, so he decides to come back later. Let me know if you see any. Principal is deeply sad that he cannot hit on Miss Frizzle, and decides to retreat deeper into Eastern Hills to quench his sadness. We're off, he says. I'm ready to conk out, Jesus says. That again, Principal replies in his head. And then they run into a monsters. 2 butterflies that are equally ugly. Principal muses about what to do. Decides that in order to ensure humanity's survival, he decides to blow up a random one. He kills one of them, getting 10 rescue faces, and then Jesus smacks the other one with his big long stick. He decides to smack it with his big long stick again, after he smacks Principal with his wing, and it dies. I'll feel that in the morning, even though we only got hit one time. The duo find butterfly honey and 10 gold on the ground. They wander further. into the hills. Let's show 'em what we can do, Principal says. Yeah, I suppose, Jesus replies. Look, that cloud looks like slime jelly, Jesus says. Looks more like a juicy goblin hand to me, Principal replies. Ah, Jesus says, wondering if he should ascend back up into the clouds. Principal replies, hoping that goblin ham will fall down from the heavens. I'm still hungry, ridiculously hungry, they both say at the same time, and they walk away. Not really feeling it. I'm getting hungry, Principal says. They decide to head up the tough path, but almost certainly knowing that they'll die. I'm ready to conk out, Jesus says, before they run into enemies. 4 goblins. Jesus Christ. Jesus uses his show-off skill, doing extra damage for Principal's behalf. Principal worries about what he's gotten himself in and decides to blow up Goblin B for existing. Principal is looking elsewhere. Jesus gives him a warning. Move out the way! Ha! Principal moves. Thanks for that, man. Principal is showered with sprinkles before getting backhanded. Goblin B backhands Jesus. Goblin C backhands Jesus. Goblin D backhands Principal. Jesus smacks him with his big long stick and Goblin B dies. Goblin D backhands Principal. It is now Principal's turn. He thinks that he should blow up one of these monstrosities and chooses Goblin D. Goblin D dies. Take that! Goblin A backhands Principal. Gift of divine power, hyok hyok. HP sprinkled power awakened, hyok hyok. Sprinkle this mysterious power to restore HP, hyok hyok. Oh ho, you've awakened a new power, hyok hyok. If you lose HP, you won't be able to fight much longer, hyok hyok. Use some HP sprinkles to recover before you're knocked out, hyok hyok. You can use HP sprinkles during any character's turn, but hyok hyok. Sprinkles don't last forever, you know, hyok hyok. So sprinkle wisely, ho ho. Everybody's sprinkled to full HP and almost full mana, and then they're dropped back into battle. Goblin C backhands Jesus. Jesus smacked Goblin C with his big long stick. Principal decides that it's his time to blow up Goblin A. Goblin A has 10 damage dealt. Goblin C backhands Principal. Goblin A backhands Jesus. Principal decides to blow up Goblin C, killing it in the process. Take that, Principal says. Jesus smacks Goblin A with his big long stick, killing it and winning the battle. They do a little dance. Yippee, Principal says. They both get 8 XP. Oh my god. The duo get 3 Goblin Ham and 32 gold. Before running away. I want a cat, Principal says. We'll make it through this, Jesus thinks in his head. They both stumble upon a treasure chest and get 195 gold. Principal thinks he can pay off his college debt now, even though he never will. They find an inn, and the day's hard work is done.
No. No.
They grow a little better, they grow a little more friendshipy, and go to sleep. Somebody rings the doorbell. Huh? Principal thinks. Someone's at the door. Ho ho, seems like you got company. Hyuk hyuk, I didn't send it at all, totally. Who is it? Principal asks. It's a new adventurer, hyuk hyuk. Defeating the Dark Lord will be difficult with just the 2 of you, so I called a new adventurer to come and join your party, hyuk hyuk. Be ready with a warm welcome, hyuk hyuk. Principal welcomes then the new adventurer to find out it is the Odd Ones Out as a pop star. Nice to meet ya, Odd Ones Out says. I'm Odds Ones Out. I'm a pop star, Odds One Out says. I'm looking forward to traveling with you. Principal nods at all this, unable to respond effectively since he realizes that he's only in so that way so that way the narrator can tag him in his description and get famous. He decides to dance along with him. Be sure to play nicely and make the odd ones out feel welcome. Yuck, yuck. I thought I called one more companion. Yuck, yuck. I wonder what happened. Yuck, yuck. Principal muses at this fact, thinking, oh dear God, another person. Well, I'm sure you'll get everyone together eventually. Yuck, yuck. For now, you're a party of 3. Ho, ho, yuck, yuck. I want the odd ones out. No, I want the odd ones out. Stay. Jesus. Principal would be alone. Okay. Sure. Principal goes out and buys a linen robe, and he decides to wear it under his original outfits.
Stern is still alive. Stern is still alive. Is Dream alive? Is Dream?
The odd one's out and buys an HP banana, and now they have no money in 5 HP bananas. They all decide to eat. The odd one's out is fed some goblin ham to see if he likes it. The odd one's out thinks that it's fine, but nothing to gloat over. Jesus decides to eat the rare goblin ham and thinks that it's decently good. Principal eats goblin ham and thinks it's fine.
Holy Sephiroth is terrible.
And odd one's out decides to eat the butterfly honey and thinks that it's not too good. Jesus thinks about spending money even though he has no money. And then they decide to head out, equipping odd ones out into the party.
Wow, I hit it twice. Jeez.
They head further into the eastern hills and stumble across something magnificent. Well, look who it is, cries out All Might. You just keep turning up like a bad penny. All Might. Prepare to taste defeat, Principal says, knowing that that's not true. Oh, that was a good one. That made me piss my pants a little. Well, since you want it so much, let's dance. All Might shoots an energy ball at Principal, and Principal realizes that he should have just went home instead of going out. As the energy ball is about to charge up, Principal shits his pants, and then some random ass guy comes from the background and destroys it. Who? The great sage, Harry Potter, runs up to the screen. So you're this dark lord I've been hearing so much about, Harry Potter muses. You won't be getting your way for much longer. Not if I have anything to say about it. The great sage, Harry Potter. Didn't everybody ever tell you nobody likes a party pooper? I might just let you live this time. All Might realizes that if he wants to fight with the great sage, he would be quadruple teams, and he wasn't looking forward to that battle. So he decides to leave. Bye for now. He goes home to clean the piss off of his underwear. And breathe, Principal says. How do you do? They call me Harry Potter. I'm a traveling mage. I'm Principal, and I did not shit my pants a few seconds ago. Principal tells him about his adventure. Intriguing, Harry Potter says. I won't tell Goofy that you don't want to do this. So you're on a quest to defeat the Dark Lord? Yeah, but you feel you're not quite strong enough and you shit your pants just a few minutes ago, even though he was right there? Principal has nothing to say to this because he doesn't want to admit the fact that he shit his pants. I sense a strange power within you, though. You might not think it's much at the moment, but continue your journey and you'll grow and grow. So just hang in there. Got it. If your fortune's on our side, we'll meet again. Until then, Harry Potter walks off. Principal and foes bicker on which way to go. They realize that they cannot get past the guard's sands because he's way too serious about his job. So they decide to head towards the big-ass treasure chest that they can see from miles away. We're off. Could do with a nice meal. What'd you just say? I wonder who that great sage Harry Potter is, Principal says. How cool is he? Jesus replies. You won't be getting away for much longer, Principal says in an attempt to mock Harry Potter. Not if I have anything to say about it, right? Jesus says. Dark Lord All Might couldn't even dish up a good comeback. So cool, sighs, so dreamy. The narrator thinks it is a good time to say that he hates these people and wonders why are they daydreaming about another man. Achoo! No tough enemies, please. The duo decide to head towards the big-ass treasure chest, because who would not? Slow down, Jesus says. Oh, there's something on the ground, Jesus says, and picks up an MP candy. Principal wonders how the hell he saw that. And moves on. On your marks, Jesus says. And then they run into enemies, thank God. 2 butterflies and a cloud. Jesus smacks the butterfly with his big long stick. Principal bickers, thinks over what to do, and decides to blow up the cloud. Fire! The cloud has... yeah. The odd one's out, throws his microphone at everybody, killing a butterfly. Yippee! Rock Moth A smacks Principal with his wings. Cumulus rains on himself, giving himself full HP. Principal blows him up again. Jesus smacks him with his big long stick, and the cloud dies. Then the odd one's out, throws his microphone at the moth. The moth smacks the fudge. Jesus kills the moth with his big long stick. What a breeze, he says. They each level up. Principal gained a level. Jesus gained a level. Odd Ones Out gained a level. Odd Ones Out learns Encore. After friends turn, cheer for an encore, giving them an extra turn. The duo finds 36 gold on the floor, and they move along, before running into an inn. Their day is done, and they head in.
Okay.
Everybody fantasizes about different things, and yet there's absolutely nothing that they can do. So they decide to set off and bury their feelings in the ground.
Oh, so Steve. Okay, this is about to be some fun gameplay, everyone.
The duo head towards the big-ass treasure chest. We're off, Principal says. Whee! Principal says. And they find the treasure chest. Everybody muses how small it is, even though it was so much bigger just a few miles ago. They opened it, and they find a squeaky staff. And Jesus immediately swipes the squeaky staff from the chest before anybody has anything to say. He quips the squeaky staff, and feels very happy, not having to smack things with his stick anymore. Woohoo! Woohoo! Whippy! That's uplifting. And then they run into 3 goblins, all looking like they have to pee really badly. Jesus smacks Goblin C with his hammer. Principal muses about what to do and decides to attack Goblin C with his big stick. A small stick. Goblin A and B backhand Principal. Goblins Out throws a microphone at all of them, killing Goblin C in the process. Jesus smacks Goblin B with his squeaky hammer. Principal decides to blow up Goblin A for maximum damage. Goblin A backhands the principal. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, killing Goblin C and B and A at the same time. The trio's victorious. I could go for a few more rounds, Odd Ones Out screams, where they each get XP. They find 2 goblin hams and 24 gold. They find an inn. Their day's work is done, and they run to take a nap. Everybody decides that it's time to eat what little food they have. They each decide that the Odd Ones Out in principle should eat some goblin ham. They're sad that there is no grub left for them to eat. All 3 of them decide to set off, ready for the day's adventure. They decide to go back on the previous path to go the other way, considering how semi-disappointing the treasure chest was, considering all it contained was a squeaky hammer instead of 1,000 gold. Bit out of breath, Principal says. And then they run into 2 clouds with the Asian eyes. Jesus smacks Cloud A with a squeaky hammer. No, that's Cloud B, my bad. Principal decides to blow up Cloud A. Cloud A rains on himself, healing half the damage. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, dealing abysmal damage. Cumulus B decides to rain on himself, healing half the damage. Principal decides to blow up Cloud A. Jesus decides to show off and kill Cloud A. And the Odd Ones Out decides to encore Principal. Principal gets another turn and decides to blow up Cumulus B, dealing 9 damage. Cumulus B runs into Principal and Jesus finishes him off with a squeaky hammer. The trio is victorious. I think we won, Jesus says in a sarcastic way, and they each get 12 XP. The trio find 52 gold on the floor, thinking, yay, we can now buy whatever we want. Except Principal out of college debt. Achoo! Principal says. Dig a hole, Jesus replies. What a great weather for adventure, Principal says. Great weather for adventuring indeed, Jesus replies. Yeah, what should we do? Principal says. Let's go home, Jesus replies. Yeah, wait, what? Principal says, even though he is sonophobic and hates the sun. Whoops. This is so much fun, Jesus says. Just stop. Ones Out replies in his head. And then the duo runs into 2 goblins and 2 clouds. Principal decides to smack Goblin A with his stick. Jesus decides to smack Goblin A with his squeaky hammer, killing it. Cumulus B decides to ram into Jesus. Principal tells Jesus to look out, and he does. Thanks, man, Jesus says, and they grow closer together. Goblin B backhands Jesus. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, dealing damage to all 3 of them, even if it's abysmal. Cumulus A rains on himself, heals all the damage that Odd Ones Out does. And Principal decides that he wants to run a stick through Cloud B. Jesus squeaky hands Cloud B. Alden's out throws his microphone, dealing abysmal damage. Cloud B rains on himself, healing for 5 HP. Goblin B backhands Jesus. Cumulus A runs into Oddwin's out. Principal decides to attack Cumulus B with his stick. Jesus squeaky hammers Cumulus B, killing it. Goblin B backhands Principal. Oddwin's out throws his microphone, dealing abysmal damage. Cumulus A rams into Principal. Jesus shows off the Principal and squeaky hammers Goblin B, killing it in the process. Principal decides that for fun he wants to blow up Cumulus A. So he does. Cumulus A rains on himself, healing for 5 HP. Oddwin's out throws his microphone, dealing abysmal damage. Jesus smacks Cumulus B. And Principal decides the only way to end it is to run his stick through the cloud. So he does, and it dies. Even if that stick is so small. Insert funny joke here. They decide to morph one of the cloud's dead bodies into cotton candy and find Goblin Ham on the floor and 68 gold. Can we please slow down a bit, Oddwin's out says. Then they run to a treasure chest and open it, because it's a treasure chest. And they find 3 game tickets. They don't know what that does yet. And then they find an inn, and are rewarded for their day's hard work with a bit of rest. Jesus and the odd ones out go closer together, and they all go to bed. Oh? Looks like there's a new member looking for adventure. Principal lets the mysterious adventurer in. The mysterious adventurer introduces himself as... Oh, crap. Whew, I finally made it, the mysterious adventurer says. Sorry I'm late. I'm Captain Falcon. I'm a warrior. I always do my best. Principal nods, wondering how does he reply to that. They dance together. Principal feels a little bit scared for his life. Captain Falcon joined our party. Hooray! Welcome to the team. I'm sure we'll get along just great. Ahem. And with that, we now have a 4-person party. The goal of our journey is utmost important. To save all of Miitopia. We won't let it fall to the dastardly Dark Lord. Everybody's tired of Principal and his monologuing. It'll become an adored journey, that much is certain. So it's a good thing the 4 of us have the resolve. Hey, Principal. Are you done blabbing yet? We're starving. Captain Falcon is not hip, and does not realize he should have used the word yapping. Sigh. Principal's sad he got cut off in the middle of his big-ass monologue that would have taken 15 years. But he decides to swallow his anger and let everybody eat. Ears to our heroic travels. Hooray! Confetti comes out of nowhere, and nobody cares. Everybody decides to eat the minimal grub they have. And Captain Falcon gets the honor of tasting the dead body of a cloud. He thinks it's fine. And he also gets the honor to eat goblin ham. He doesn't like it, even though it's good for him. Just like your grandma. Everybody decides to spin the roulette. Okay guys, so this is the only time in the series where I won't be narrating. So yay. I won XP. We gotta give it to Captain Falcon. Because we need him to level up. Alright, let's spin the roulette again. Let's see here. Oh my god. Oh, well. No. Bless you. I guess let's give it to him. Bless you. Jump slash, nice. I'm sure it's oh, that's great. Alright. I got 500 gold. Anyone can beat me. Oh, come on. Oh, we don't have any game tickets. Dang it. I'd rather buy Captain Falcon than a sword. After various maintenance, the team decided to set off. They head east, I think. We're off, Principal says. I'm feeling pumped, Captain Falcon says. Come on, Oglin's Out replies. We're on a roll, Oglin's Out says. And then they stumble upon Danny DeVito's face. Snake's alive, he cries out, and then he's put on the face of a boulder, making the boulder even uglier than before. Rocky DeVito and two clouds come out of nowhere. Jesus smacks a cloud with a squeaky hammer. Principal muses about what to do and decides to blow up Rocky DeVito, as it shouldn't exist for any longer. Oglin's Out throws his microphone, doing abysmal damage to everybody. Cumulus B rains on himself, giving himself 5 HP. Cumulus A rains on himself, giving itself 5 HP. Captain Falcon jump slashes Rocky DeVito. Rocky DeVito rolls onto Captain Falcon, but Captain Falcon decides, I'm good. He hits the Oglin's Out instead, and then goes for one more turn, hitting everybody else. Principal muses about what to do and decides to blow up Rocky DeVito, as it shouldn't exist any longer. Jesus cures himself. Captain Falcon is sad that no one has an MP candy, and Jesus decides to donate an MP candy to him. He begrudgingly accepts it and eats it. And his relationship with Jesus starts up. Rocky DeVito roll on everybody except Captain Falcon, who's too cool to get hit. Cumulus B runs into Jesus. Cumulus A runs into Principal. Oglin's Out eats an HP banana and heals to full HP. Jesus heals himself, and they decide to use sprinkles to heal Principal and Jesus. Alright. Principal muses about what to do and decides to burn the crime against humanity that is Rocky DeVito. Cumulus A runs into Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon's pissed and decides to run the sword straight through the Cumulus's heart, straight through Danny DeVito's heart, killing it. Cumulus B runs into Falcon. Oglin's Out and decides to give Captain Falcon another turn to fix his mistakes. Captain Falcon slashes Cumulus B. Jesus decides to heal Captain Falcon. Their relationship grows a little more. Cumulus B rains on himself. Healing. Principal muses about what to do and decides to smack Cumulus B with a random broomstick he found on the ground. Cumulus A rains on himself. Healing Cumulus B. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, doing abysmal damage. Captain Falcon smacks Cumulus B, doing a whole lot of damage. Principal decides to finish off Cumulus B with one more stick hit from his mighty broomstick. Jesus smacks Cumulus A with Squeaky Hammer. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone for abysmal damage. Cumulus A runs into Principal, and Jesus decides to check if he is okay. You okay? Jesus says. Jesus? Principal replies, not giving an answer. Captain Falcon slashes the Cumulus in half, and Danny DeVito's face flies in the air. What a waste of time. Odd Ones Out, you can't do any damage. Just get a life. You suck. And Danny DeVito flies off, hurting Odd Ones Out's feelings. No problem, Captain Falcon says. Everybody gets a decent amount of HP. Odd Ones Out, Warren's Earworm. Get enemies dancing to a catchy tune to distract them for one turn. Jesus. That one's gonna be overloaded. It's gonna be Jesus. Jesus, Warren, and Calm bring the whole party to their senses with a soothing spell. The gang scoop up the remains of a cloud that Captain Falcon did not chop in half into a cotton candy, and they find a chop rock and 52 gold on the ground. They run until they find an inn and decide to sleep after a long day's work. You got a letter. Dear Principal. Hey, hi, hello, it's me. I wrote a letter. Let me know if you don't get it. From Will Smith. And they get 3 outing tickets. The little child knows what outing tickets are. I'm really surprised. Odd Ones Out and Jesus' relationship grow a little more. The gang decides to feed the hard rock to whoever has the weakest defense, which is Odd Ones Out. Odd Ones Out hates it. And they decide to feed the cotton candy to Principal. Principal thinks it's fine. Nothing to write home about, though. The duo are really sad that they cannot spend any money, but they are forced to swallow their feelings and go on outings. I need Odd Ones Out and Jesus to have a relationship. Let's go fishing, Odd Ones Out says. Tee-hee, Odd Ones Out says. Which do you like best? Jesus replies. I got a bite. It's the big one. Jesus rushes over to help him. You can do it! And they pull and pull until the line breaks. They're sad. They find slime jelly at the docks, which Principal advises them that they should not eat. Principal decides to go on a journey with the Odd Ones Out, and they leave for the library. Let's read a bit at the library, Odd Ones Out says. Tired? Odd Ones Out says. That how it seems, Principal replies. They head to the library. How's the book? Really like it. Neat. Can you meet someone once upon a time? There's long there's fancy greenhorn dog dead and right there right now. Principal falls asleep and they head back home. They find a bitter tea, which principal advises them that they should not drink, since they don't know whose it is. All one's out, principal decides to go back to the library. Let's read a bit at the library again. Remain calm, remain calm. You don't get it, principal replies in his head, and they're back at the library. A library brimming with books. Gotta read them all. Good luck with that, principal replies. This font's a bit hard to read. Ugh, my eyesight's not what it used to be. Oh my, that's a lot of reading material. Principal's shocked how Odd Ones Out could have read all of that, and they grow closer together because of it. Orange show-off. They head back home after a fun day, and they find another bitteringly bitter tea, which principal advises them they should not drink. But the gang, too hungry to listen, decide to anyways. Captain Falcon thinks that it's not bad, and likes it. Odd Ones Out finds it fine. Jesus thinks that the jelly that they found at the docks is so good that he should send it up to God and make him mass produce it. Everybody's hungry, but too bad. And so the duo set out on an adventure. Danny DeVito's face returns to the Easton Hills. And the gang think about what faces they're missing and decide that unless there's another face that they've forgotten about, it's just the Mona Lisa. And yeah, it's just the Mona Lisa. They head to the strange grove looking for Mona Lisa's face. We're off, the principal says. I'm feeling pumped, Jesus says. No, let's not get too excited, Odd Ones Out replies. Achoo! Odd Ones Out sneezes. I want some new clothes, Captain Falcon says. Rustle, rustle. There's something here, Principal thinks to himself. What can it be? Principal wonders whether or not he should investigate it, but curiosity gets the best of him, and he does. It's a kitten. Here, kitty, kitty. Aww. I can't see the cat, but I want it badly. Principal lifts 3 MP and is fully rejuvenated. Need some kitty cuddles, Principal says. Why? Jesus replies. Then they run into a sign. They bicker over which way to go for a while, and then they let fate decide. They head northwest. I miss dialogue. Wachoo, Captain Falcon says. Then they run into some enemies. A goblin and a mushroom with a yacht. Jesus smacks the goblin with his squeaky hammer. The Odd Ones Out decides to encore Jesus to smack someone else with his squeaky hammer. Jesus buys into it and smacks the goblin with his squeaky hammer, killing it. Principal thinks that he should smack the yacht with his broom. Captain Falcon, too cool to smack the yacht, decides to slash the shroom. The shroom shakes his yacht and the principal busts out laughing. Gift of divine power, safe spot powers awakened. A special place for me to recover from battle. Ho ho. Yuck yuck. Ho ho, it's only acting strangely. Take some time to get back to normal. Yuck yuck. If you want to speed up the process, use the safe spot. Yuck yuck. You'll even get a small boost to HP and MP for free. Yuck yuck. You can use the safe spot during any character's turn, but while someone's in the safe spot, you'll be 1 team member short. Yuck yuck. Make sure you consider that. Ho ho. Yuck yuck. Principal is moved to safety so he can stop laughing at that shroom. Jesus smacks the shroom with his squeaky hammer on the yacht and kills it. Phew, Jesus says, while All Principal and Odd Ones Out and Jesus are thinking how much they wanted that yacht for themselves. They get Goblin Ham and 20 gold.
Well, the thing.
I am the wind, Principal says. Then they run into more monsters, which is 2 shrooms with Jesus showing off. The Principal smacks the shroom, dealing 8 damage.
I thought the bed player left me.
Principal now realizes how stupid it is and smacks the shroom. Shroom A smacks Toad. Odd One's Out, and Odd One's Out uses Earworm. Nobody cares. And Shroom B smacks Captain Falcon, except he doesn't. Captain Falcon slices the shroom in half for fun. And Jesus smacks Shroom B with his magic squeaky hammer. And Principal, now hating the idea of yachts, decides to burn it in hell while showing off for Jesus. Odd One's Out throws his microphone and kills it, which is a shock to everybody since he can kill stuff? That's crazy. Still in one piece, Captain Falcon says. Principal gains a level. And learned lightning. Zap an enemy with lightning. Also hits enemies on either side. They find 24 gold on the ground before running away. Someone got up on the wrong side of bed, Jesus thought to himself. The team bickered over which path to go, but eventually decided to go southwest because they went northwest last time. I think. The duo run into monsters. The team of 4 run into more monsters. 2 shrooms and a goblin. Principal decides to use lightning on Shroom A to hit everybody. Of course, he has to show off. So he does a decent kind of damage. Jesus smacks the middle shroom with his squeaky hammer. Captain Falcon slices the shroom in half, killing it. Odd One's Out uses his microphone to give Captain Falcon to go again. Captain Falcon fights into it and decides to slash the goblin in half, killing it. Shroom B smacks the Odd Ones Out, and Jesus heals the Odd Ones Out. The relationship grows. Principal, deciding that enough is enough, smacks the shroom with his broom, and the Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, almost killing it. Captain Falcon decides to aim for the weak point, slices it into many pieces, and wins.
I got told by a top player.
Did he win? Captain Falcon says. And Captain Falcon levels up. Captain Falcon gain a level. The team make mushroom Shantae and find 32 gold on the ground. They're content with their spoils and want to go home. Ugh, I'm starving. Me too. Oh, you brought some to share, Captain Falcon. Oh, no, I'm pretending to eat. What, huh? I'm trying to trick my stomach into feeling full. This journey's taking a real mental toll on Captain Falcon. Let's hope he'll last until he can get some grub at the next inn. The team adventure on and find an inn. Principal and the Odd Ones Out relationship grow stronger. They all head to bed.
Wait, is that actually gonna make me affiliates? That would be
Odd Ones Out eats goblin ham. Thinks it's fine.
disgusting. Said it before, I'll say it again. Now that's all angle. Disgusting. That would be funny if Zach actually just made me affiliates.
Odd Ones Out likes the mushroom Shantae. Everybody wants to spend gold on something. That's so sad.
Disgusting. Yes.
The odd one's out goes to buy a megaphone. And buys a megaphone. Odd one's out is content with his megaphone. And the team decide to set off. Ready to defeat evil.
Absolutely troll and destroyed us is just insane. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
We're off, Principal says. Can we please slow down a bit, Jesus says. Let's do this, Captain Falcon says. Then they run into the... Oh, I forgot about Death. Aye! Death's face screams before getting put onto a mouse.
You know what I will say is that
Death Mouse. Ah, yes. The legendary Death Mouse. Ugh. Death Mouse is accompanied by 2 shrooms. Jesus smacks Shroom 1 with a squeaky hammer. Principal decides that he needs to summon bolts of lightning on Death Mouse to kill it as fast as possible, while showing off for the Odd Ones Out. Odd Ones Out throws his megaphone, dealing abysmal damage. Shroom A makes a funny face, shakes his yacht, and Principal doesn't care. Captain Falcon jump slashes the Death Mouse, dealing a decent amount of damage. He throws his tail, causing damage at everywhere. Shroom B shakes his yacht. Jesus does not give a shit. And Principal decides to use lightning on the Death Mouse, hopefully killing it once and for all. Principal does so much damage he kills 2 of the 3. And Jesus smacks the Shroom for the final fatality. So cool, Death says. And the sporty face is rescued.
now that Zap is one of the only
Nailed it, Principal says, and they all get decent XP. Odd Ones Out levels up. They find mouse treats, room Shrante, and 24 gold. They find an inn, and they rest once again.
my bad.
Principal and Odd Ones Out grows closer together, gaining another level of friendship. And then they all go to bed. Team decide once again to set off into the wilderness after taking a little bit to recuperate. Death's face is sent back, and the only one that they have left to find is Mona Lisa. I'm almost certain this time. They go through the cave. They go into the river deep cavern, searching for Mona Lisa's face. We're off, Principal says. Can we please slow down a bit? Odd Ones Out says. Need some kitten cuddles. And then they run into monsters. They run into 3 banshees. Jesus smacks Banshee 1 with a squeaky hammer. Principal decides to use lightning to smack all 3 banshees. Banshee A cries, and Principal cries too. Banshee B cries, and Jesus cries. Odd Ones Out throws his microphone, doing abysmal damage. Jesus is put into the rescue spot because he's more important. Banshee C smacks Odd Ones Out. Captain Falcon slashes Banshee B. Principal can't see and just does lightning at random, killing Banshee B. Take that, he says and cheers. Jesus is having a rest and he stops crying. Banshee C smacks Odd Ones Out. Odd one's out. Doesn't earworm. Banshee C takes it, and Banshee A doesn't. Banshee A cries tears, making odd ones out cry. Captain Falcon smacks Banshee B. Banshee C. Jesus smacks Banshee C, making it cry. Principal stops crying. Odd one's out is forced into the safe spot to stop crying like a baby. Banshee A cries, and Jesus cries. Captain Falcon smacks Banshee A. Odd one's out is removed, and Jesus is put into the safe spot. Jesus is having a rest, and he stops crying, and he's removed from the safe spot. Principal decides that he runs his broom at Banshee A, doing an abysmal amount of damage. Odd one's out throws his megaphone, killing Banshee A. Yippee! The team of 4 is victorious. Nailed it, Principal says. No more fighting, Captain Falcon says. Don't say that, Guy replies. Everybody unanimously decides to go up to the big-ass treasure chest. Because who doesn't want treasure? Don't tell that to Jesus, Captain Falcon thinks. Odd one's out is having a hiccup fit. Jesus decides to scare him. Boom! He takes 2 damage, and Jesus is very sad. Phew! Go, 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 Jesus says. Then they run into monsters. They run into 2 banshees and a cloud. Jesus smacks the cloud with his squeaky hammer. Principal decides to use lightning on all 3 of them, killing the cloud in the process. Take that! Banshee B smacks the odd ones out. Odd ones out. Encore's Principal. Principal decides to go again, and he uses his fire to blow up Banshee A. Banshee A cries, and the odd ones out cries. Captain Falcon decides to aim for the weak point, killing Banshee A in the process. Principal decides to blow up Banshee B. Jesus decides to spare Banshee B. The poor thing. Banshee B thanked him and went home. Did we win? Principal said. And they scraped the cloud's body together for cotton candy and find 64 gold on the floor. They find an inn and they rest after a long day. You got a ladder. Dear Principal, it's I, the mayor. I'm cold. Buh! My hands are shaking. So that is that. From Dudley. 4 outing tickets. Principal and the odd ones out gets a better relationship, and they all go back to sleep. Odd ones out and Principal are deep in conversation. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Principal is cleaning. Like a dumbass can't see that. I admire your work ethic, odd ones out thinks, and they grow closer because of that. Principal decides to move back to Jesus. And odd ones out is left all alone. They decide to eat some grub. Principal decides that he should give the mouse treat to Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon really enjoys it. He wants more. Captain Falcon decides to eat the mushroom shantae. He thinks it's decently good. Jesus decides to eat the cotton candy and thinks it's fine. Jesus goes to buy some morning vessels and equips it underneath his armor. Everybody thinks on what to do next. Everybody sets out, hoping to find Mona Lisa's face and get that treasure chest.
Sure, yeah.
Not necessarily in that order.
Call me. Why not? It's possible.
We're off, Principal says.
That's possible, right?
This is so much fun, Principal says. I thought you'd say that, Captain Falcon says. They find a small treasure chest, open it, and find 280 gold. Everybody's relieved because money is the best thing in the universe. Let's do this, Captain Falcon says. Let's keep things going. They find the big treasure chest, open it, and find casual threads. Nobody knows what to do with this, so the odd ones out reluctantly decides to take it. The team finds an inn, and they settle down after a hard day's work of doing absolutely nothing. They all go to sleep.
This is the fact that
MP candy, soldier staff, magic robe.
Huh?
Captain Falcon goes out and buys some leather armor and decides to equip it. Shit, I should have changed colors. You didn't hear that. It's 300 in this. Principal goes out to buy magic robes, and he gets them. Principal decides to put it on. And he changes it to some nice cyan. Jesus is left high and dry, and they all set off for another day of adventuring.
That would be even boring to take it out. This son joined my Discord.
We're off, Principal says. Need some kitten cuddles, Odd One's Out says. Try not to worry, Jesus says. Good job, Odd One's Out. Our team of 4 went into 3 banshees. Jesus, showing off, smacks Banshee C. Captain Falcon, using his cool skills, attacks Banshee C. Principal decides to use lightning, hoping to at least kill Banshee C, because he looked at her funny. Though he messes up and gets Banshee A and B instead, like a dumbass. Principal gets hit. Jesus sees if he's okay, and he is. Odd Ones Out tries to use Earworm, but only Banshee A gives a shit. Banshee C and B hit Odd Ones Out, and Jesus heals Odd Ones Out. Odd Ones Out is very grateful. Principal decides this time he's going to hit Banshee B this time, and not use auto aim. He hits Banshee B. Banshee EA is distracted. Captain Falcon decides that's his chance and goes for Banshee B. Odd Ones Out uses Encore on Captain Falcon. He bites and gets another turn. Captain Falcon uses his turn on Banshee C, killing her. And Jesus heals Principal for 10 damage. Principal thinks on what to do and decides that he's just gonna smack Banshee A, hoping that she'll die. Banshee A cries tears, making Jesus cry. Odd Ones Out encores Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon gets a turn. Captain Falcon smacks Banshee A, and she dies. Safe and sound, Captain Falcon says. Jesus levels up to level 5. They steal some of the tears that are left on the ground and get 114 gold. My tummy hurts. Why? The duo decide to go away from the treasure chest this time. considering they already knew what's inside it. I want some new clothes. So, Principal, do you have a war cry that you use in battle? Jesus asked. Of course, Principal replies. So, dude, Principal's war cry is no running in the halls. Jesus thinks it's cool, except he really doesn't. No more fighting. Tell me about it. No more fighting. And then the team run into some monsters. It is 7 apple jellies. Jesus heals Odd Ones Out. Thank you, Odd Ones Out says. The relationship grows. Apple Jelly E smacks the Odd Ones Out. Principal decides to use some sprinkles. That way he can get more MP. Principal decides to use lightning on Apple Jelly D and shows off for Jesus, killing Apple Jelly D. Captain Falcon smacks Apple Jelly A, killing it. Oh no, G. F hits Jesus. A hits Jesus. C hits Captain Falcon. B hits Principal. Odd Ones Out. Decides to encore Captain Falcon to go again. He bites into it. Captain Falcon, using his coolness, aims for the weak point, killing B. Jesus heals himself. Apple Jelly F hits Odd Ones Out. C hits Odd Ones Out. Principal decides to use lightning on Apple Jelly. Principal decides to blow up Apple Jelly A, hoping that it dies. And it does. Take that. Odd Ones Out shows off for Principal, using his microphone, doing decent damage and killing 2 Apple Jellies. Captain Falcon slashes into the last Apple Jelly, killing. The battle is won. I feel that in the morning, Captain Falcon says. They all gained decent XP. Principal gained a level. Odd Ones Out gained a level and learned out of tune. Screech sings a screechy song that hurts the enemy and your friends too. It's just like when he tries to sing in real life. And Captain Falcon gains a level. Warren's Proud Protector focuses on defense to absorb the damage aimed at a friend. They get some slime jelly and 70 gold. Giddy up, yawn. The team runs into monsters. This time it's 4 apple jellies, a banshee, and a cloud. Jesus smacks Apple Jelly D. Principal uses lightning on the banshee to kill the jelly and hurt banshee in the cloud. Take that. C is Falcon. B is Odd Ones Out. Falcon uses slash on banshee. Odd Ones Out uses his awful singing to hurt everybody. Banshee hits Falcon. Cumulus rains on himself, healing. Jesus heals Captain Falcon. I owe you one, man. The relationship grows. Principal decides to use lightning on Banshee to kill it and the cloud. It is successful on killing it, putting off the cloud. Odd Ones Out uses his microphone, killing the cloud and the 2 apple jellies, earning it a little bit of respect from the narrator. I'd be worried for a moment there. Everyone gets decent XP. They scrape the cloud's body onto a stick and get 104 gold. Full steam ahead. Oh, is that a new outfit? You look super cute. Oh gosh, you're making me blush. But I'm not gay. The compliments went down well. They gain another level of friendship. Even though he claims he's not gay, he's starting to lean towards it. Look at that smile. That's the smile of a gay person. Weren't concerned together. If you want me to explain what concern means, you're stupid. They found an inn and rest after a hard day's work.
I had patience because I've been coached by her Wizzy before. Fun fact. Yeah. Ooh.
Haha, gift of divine power. HP sprinkles upgrade. Hot yuck. Your total HP sprinkles rise from 20 to 25. Yuck yuck. Ho ho. Your people's gratitude has awakened a new power within you. Ho yuck. Ho yuck. Truly, you are a beacon of hope for all Miitopia. Alright, you may continue smiting monsters. Yuck, yuck, ho, and you'll get your next perch once you reach 100 eco. Hop to it, ho, ho, yuck, yuck. Principal and Jesus' relationship grow a little closer, and they all go to bed. Captain Falcon wishes to go to Jesus' room, but stamps down those thoughts because he is a lone wolf, and he does not want to be in anybody's room.
Oh my god.
Captain Falcon decides to drink the Banshee Cheers. He hates them.
Hold that one, Will. I almost got
Captain Falcon eats the slime jelly and doesn't like it that much. And Oddwin's Out eats the cotton candy and likes it. Captain Falcon goes to buy some bee armor and buys some bee armor. He equips it and changes the color to pure black because that's his heart.
Honestly, just being able to fly Zap and just didn't know it is just the funniest highlight that this stream will be.
Captain Falcon still wants to go to Jesus' room, but again, he stamps down those thoughts. And the party heads out on an adventure. They then run out of the cave, as they don't want to be there anymore. And they get to the castle view. We're off. Head for the inn. Only one more face to find now. What an ordeal. Think the last one will go smoothly? Yeah, but what if the big scary boss monster jumps out at us? Dude, why'd you have to say that? The team realized that almost certainly a big scary monster is gonna jump out of them. I'm not a happy puppy. Say what? The team run into Dark Lord All Might once again. So we meet again. Principal manages not to shit his pants, though he pisses all over himself. Pathetic. Not even worth the effort to crush you myself. This should be enough to finish you off. All Might summons an imp and puts the Mona Lisa's face on it. Oh dear! Mona Lisa cries out. That pile of stone must be Grimhorn's castle, yes? And that useless king. I got something special in store for him. All Might flies off, planning devious things that nobody wants. Imp Mona Lisa is joined by 4 apple jellies. Principal thinks on what to do and decides to use lightning on the imp. Jesus smacks the imp with his squeaky hammer. D smacks Principal. C smacks Principal, though Oddwin's Out tells him to watch out. He didn't notice. Jesus is smacked really hard. Oddwin's Out is smacked really hard. B smacks Captain Falcon. Oddwin's Out uses Encore on Principal. He bites it and goes again. Principal, thinking about his friends, uses his HP sprinkles between them. Principal uses lightning on the imp again, hoping to kill Apple Jelly C and B.
Principal is successful in killing both of them. Take that. A smacks Captain Falcon, except it doesn't. Captain Falcon smacks the imp. Principal thinks on what to do and decides to use fire on the imp, dealing massive damage. Jesus smacks the imp with his squeaky hammer. The imp runs his horns into Jesus and Principal. Captain Falcon uses his new skill to protect Odd Ones Out from a simple apple jelly. Nuh-uh. Captain Falcon takes 2 damage, shielding Odd Ones Out. Apple Jelly A smacks Captain Falcon. Odd Ones Out uses Earworm. Only Apple Jelly A cares. Jesus heals himself. Principal decides to eat an HP banana. Odd Ones Out uses Encore on Principal, giving him another turn. Principal decides to use fire, trying to kill Imp Mona Lisa. Imp Mona Lisa runs into Jesus, except Captain Falcon blocks it. Thanks, man, Jesus says. No problem. Imp runs into Principal. Captain Falcon blocks it, taking mass damage. Thank you, Principal says. Apple Jelly D runs into Jesus. Captain Falcon's gonna get himself killed. Leave it to me. Captain Falcon is shielding, and he's knocked out. A hot gift of divine power. Life sprinkle power awakened. Yuck, yuck. Sprinkle this mysterious power to revive me. Oh, you run out of HP completely? Yuck, yuck. Without HP, you're done for and can't continue to fight. Yuck, yuck. But using the life sprinkles, you can revive your me. Yuck, 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 yuck. Life sprinkles are extremely precious. Don't waste them. Sprinkle wisely. Ho ho. Yuck, yuck. Captain Falcon aims for the weak point of the imp. Apple Jelly A is distracted. Principal decides to blow up the imp, dealing massive damage. Jesus smacks the imp with his squeaky hammer. Odd Ones Out uses charge to do abysmal damage. Apple Jelly A smacks Jesus. Apple Jelly D smacks Jesus. Mona Lisa smacks Odd Ones Out and kills Jesus. Captain Falcon smacks Mona Lisa. Principal, having nothing else to do, runs into Mona Lisa, dealing abysmal damage. Mona Lisa does a stupid attack, dealing 11 damage, and runs into Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon aims for the weak point of the imp. Apple Jelly A hits Captain Falcon. Apple Jelly D hits Principal. Odd Ones Out eats an HP banana for 20 HP. Principal is moved to the safe spots. Apple Jelly D is Captain Falcon. Apple Jelly A hits Principal. Odd Ones Out tells him to look out, and he doesn't get hit. Odd Ones Out uses his horrible music. Imp runs into Principal, and Principal dies. Stay sharp, says Captain Falcon. Come on, people. Stars comes out. Captain Falcon dodges Mona Lisa. A hits Captain Falcon. Odd Ones Out uses his microphone, killing both Apple Jellies. Yippee! He says. Captain Falcon aims for the weak point, finally killing that dumbass imp. Mona Lisa's body says, "Thank you, dear," before flying off into the sunset. What a breeze, Captain Falcon says. And everybody is leveled up, apart from Odd Ones Out. Principal learns sleep tight, making your friend doze off. Odd Ones Out is leveled up by a mysterious thing. And he learns Love and Peace, which is a stupid ability. They get slime, jelly, devil's food cake, and 40 gold. They find an inn, and they head off to rest, knowing they finally cleared everyone's faces. Jesus and Principal grow into another level of friendship before they head off to bed. Principal goes out and buys an HP banana.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with my SDs. I don't know what's up with my misclicks lately. I don't get it.
Odd Ones Out eats the devil's food cake, and likes it. And Odd Ones Out also eats the slime jelly and thinks it's fine.
It will probably determine if Sturgeon still got it. Or if I realize that shit. I don't know.
Everybody decides to head out into back to Greenhorn.
This is probably the most recently lucky stream I've ever that was just the kitty being the kitty.
Thanos' face, after a long while of waiting, is finally returned to his body.
Okay.
Thanos says, "You," as he's so happy. Oh, is my face back on? That's a relief. Sticking all those faces on monsters. Who even does that? Anyways, thank you. And the team is given 200 gold, which nobody objects. Then Mona Lisa's face is returned back to her body after a long while of waiting. Oh, joyous day, she says. My smile's back. I'm happy as a really happy person. Adventurer, you've done so much for us. Let me show you my gratitude. And they're given 2 stews. Principal wishes they had been given money instead. Because nobody wants dumbass food. Everybody wants money. Def's face is returned back to her body. Too bright, Def says. Look, it's back! All thanks to this adventurer. Thank you so much. They're given 3 useless pieces of paper instead of money. Looking good. Much better. Principal's is very awkward by how fast those 2 are shaking and wants to run away. Of course, Danny DeVito, the sarcastic child, is given their face back. What now? Danny DeVito says. I got my face back. Got mixed up with a bottom. You're not bad sort, I suppose. Fine, you at least deserve something. Danny DeVito's giving them 10 gold, and Principal wants to throw Danny DeVito into the river. What? When did the town get back to normal? Well, that's good news. Very good news indeed. Oh, adventurer. What? The Darkwood went to the castle? That's bad. We're done for. Right? Adventurer, where'd you go after the Darkwood? Of course. Principal is forced to nod, as Goofy would come and smite him to high hell if he tried to disagree. Well then. We got the mayor's introduction. You'll need this to get into the castle. Oh, and please take care. Principal nods, and slowly and regretfully walks out of the town.
Problem is I played Max so much it's not a spot to play anymore. Yeah, the life of the Little Night thing is just so much pain. I don't really play Little Night very much.
The team, on their way to the castle. We're off. I am the wind. Find the team on their way to the castle. Find something mysterious. What's that sound? They all pondered. You better go and find out. We better go and find out. They run, and they find this horse is being tortured by 3 goblins. The team decide to go save that horse. So they engage in battle. The 3 goblins run up, and Principal decides to fire lightning, hitting all 3 of them and killing B. Jesus, showing off, hits C, killing it instantly. Principal praises Jesus, and Jesus is touched by Principal's praise. Captain Falcon slices him in half, killing him and bringing them up to 69. Nice. They find goblin ham and some gold. Everything's okay now. Take care, buddy, says Principal. And the horse, unable to accept that they don't want he's not wanted, follows them. Quick. Everybody's jump scared by the horse. Huh? The horse is following us. Oh, no shit, brother. Do you want to join us? The horse nods. I'm surprised that it heard. The team, as care as ever, lets the horse in. You got it. We'll stick together then. And everybody's rejoiced by the fact that they have a horse. They all go into the inn and they rest comfortably. In surprising turn of events, the horse joined our party. It's a big one. Such power. Aw, so cute. Huh. Wow. What should we name our new friends? Any ideas? It's up to Principal. Principal thinks on what to name the horse. What should we name the horse? Doom. Alexa, how do you spell Doom?
Doom is spelled D-O-O-M.
Okay. Doom. Principal names the horse Doom. And everybody decides why the not. Henceforth, our newest friend will be known as Doom. Hooray! Principal goes to tell the horse its name. The horse is ecstatic to learn it has a name now. Hello, Doom. The horse agrees, thinking, I am Doom. It really suits you, Principal says. Principal and Doom's relationship grows stronger. And they all go to sleep. After Principal goes back to his room with Jesus, they strike up a conversation. Okay, let's arrange some ground rules for our room, says Principal. Yeah, totally agree, says Jesus. We should always keep the room clean. Yeah, definitely. We should always keep the inn clean. Okay, sure. We should always keep the entire world clean. Yo asked me. They dance and bond closer together. After Captain Falcon reluctantly says yes to go see the horse, they strike up a conversation. Here's a carrot. Eat up. Dude, found it delicious, and the relationship grows stronger. Captain Falcon swallows his feelings to go see Jesus and decides to slurp on some sharp stew instead. Captain Falcon thinks it's fine. Jesus does not like the stew. Odd Ones Out goes to buy a mic and comes back with an MP candy. And he spends 100 gold on it. The team decides to play rock, paper, scissors at the arcade. You look like you're up for a rousing game of rock, paper, scissors. I got 500 gold for anyone who can beat me. So come on, kid, give it your best shot. It only costs one game ticket. Alrighty, children, do you think we can beat the giant hand? They're going, yeah. Oh, looks like you got me. Here's your 500 gold as promised. What do you say? Feel like a streak coming on? No pressure, but you can use those winnings to have another try. There's 1,000 gold in it for you if you win. Feeling lucky? Hell no. Ah, sensible type, eh? Fine, just take your money and run. I get it. You know, maybe after this series ends, I'll do a little game to see how many tickets, how many times I could win. Alright. Let's see here. I guess I want the silver staff. I'm not getting the silver staff. I'll take outing tickets, but I would have loved the silver staff. Whoops, what? Oh, I accidentally hit. Alright guys, last chance for silver staff. I'm sad. I'm sad. Alright. The team, after winning some slime jelly, decide to eat. Principal thinks that the 1-star slime jelly's fine. Jesus thinks that the 1-star slime jelly is super. And Captain Falcon thinks that it's mid. He just goes to buy the staff, and he buys it. Jesus decides that Squeaky Hammer is life, and stuffs it underneath the staff. Principal goes to buy a clown robe, scaring himself multiple times, and decides that to just stuff it underneath his new robe. Captain Falcon swallows his feelings to go see Jesus, and we head out for another adventure. The gang decide to leave no area untraced. We're off, says Principal. Quick, says Jesus. And then they run into monsters. 2 butterflies. Principal uses his lightning to strike both of them, showing off for Jesus in the process. Killing both of them at the same time, instantly winning the battle. I'll feel that in the morning, Principal says. And they find 10 gold on the ground. Are we in the inn yet? They decide to go to the easy path for fun. That hair that really suits you, you're in a good mood. And then they run into some monsters. It being 2 measly goblins. Jesus smacks one with his squeaky hammer, instantly killing it. Jesus is praised by Principal. He feels nice, and Principal decides to smack the goblin, almost instantly killing it, while Captain Falcon does the remaining damage. We've won, said Jesus. And then they find 16 gold on the ground. I've seen the light. Hope that worked out for you. Oh, Captain Falcon found a potion bottle. What do I do? Captain Falcon is not a sissy, and he drinks the potion. Smells kind of funny. Captain Falcon, I said you're not a sissy. Drink the damn potion. Here goes. Oh! Captain Falcon heals. He's brimming with strength. Let's get down to business. Oh, come on. There is a single rock moth in the path. Principal decides to run up and attack the rock moth, dealing 7 damage and instantly killing it. Yippee, says Principal. They get a measly 2 XP and 5 gold. They find a chest, opening it and getting some very rare goblin ham before heading up to the inn and settling the day. Principal decides to eat the goblin ham and thinks that it's okay. Captain Falcon yet further swallows his desires to go see Jesus, and they head out on an adventure. They decide to go back into the strange grove to explore all missing paths. We're off, says Principal. Puff, puff. I wonder how Principal's feeling. Phew. They decide to go down this time for more excitement. Shoot! Yawn. They find a chest, opening it and getting 120 gold. That's the spirit. How much? And then they run into monsters. They find 2 shrooms. Smile shrooms, guys. Jesus hits one with his squeaky hammer, doing 10 damage. Principal decides to use lightning. Principal decides to use lightning on both the shrooms, hoping to instantly kill it. He is not successful. Odd runs out, uses earworm, and Shroom B falls for it. Captain Falcon aims for the weak point, killing Shroom A. Shroom B is distracted, and Principal uses his fire to finish it off. We won, said Principal. They each gain 2 mushroom sautés and 24 gold. Whee!
Oh, sir. Alright.
They run to the path and they decide to go up this time instead of down. Feel the power. They found a chest, open it, and they get 1 MP candy. They wish it was gold instead of candy, but they don't care too much. Principal thinks about how Captain Falcon's feeling. They run into an inn and they rest, enjoying their hard day's work. Jesus and Principal grow even closer. Captain Falcon decides to swallow his feelings yet again. They go out to buy an HP banana. And they buy an HP banana. Jesus and Principal decide to each eat a mushroom shantae. And everybody likes it. Principal likes it more than the others, but everybody likes it. The team heads out to go to the castle.
Honestly, I thought that the Chainlock tag would have been Spargo, but apparently Zap.
They're stopped by the guard Sans, the serious soldier of the bunch. You're approaching Greenhorn Castle, Sans says. I'm sorry, but I can't. Oh, you have a letter of introduction from the mayor. My apologies. Go right ahead.